Hi guys, this is Lashette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I am back with a new video. This is my Faeries Oracle deck study part 1. Back in May or June, I took the opportunity to lead an Oracle deck study via the Abundant Life Tarot group. I've owned this Oracle deck for a while now, and I wanted to solidify somewhat my belief in the Fae, the cards, and each card's meaning. Let me tell you, it was hard running a group deck study. I won't go into that much detail with the steps because I have a whole playlist of videos. This study was cobbled together more than others because it's an Oracle deck, and there's no comparing because it's its own unique system. Luckily, Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth have included this detailed ways to get to know the cards. And with a few other activities, and it was born, this deck study. By this point, you've seen that I made a junk journal for it already. I wrote my dedication and intentions, an idea I got from Tarot Kaizen, and I was off to the races. I think I excel in writing, and I was going through a tech slump as I broke the camera I filmed with months ago. But someone in the group asked very nicely that I do videos, so I made 13. And to help myself and others, I made this schedule. I'm going to say right now that I did not complete the study. As usual, I got further than before, but the biggest hindrance was how exhausting it was running the study. But I also started earlier and went later than publicly stated or anybody else did. So quickly, since I've dedicated videos for these, links in the description down below, if not in the cards as well, I did my first or current impression since I've had this deck for so long, and sorting all in one video. And I did the deck insights activity, which I've adjusted from the Tarot Kaizen workbook. I made it fit this Oracle deck. The Power Cards activity came from the guidebook of the Faeries Oracle itself. And I did my first daily draw, the deck interviews. Since I've done all of these before, it was interesting comparing then and now. However, let's go into detail about the deck interview because I did not do that in that video. While I did share my results in the group, I obviously also wrote them in the junk journal that I created specifically for this study. This deck interview is one I created myself, cobbled together from others over the years. The paper I wrote on is not the best for you being able to read via camera, but I'll explain it all to you now. The first position is simply introduce yourself, and I got the Spirit Dancer card, number 36. I put that as creative and free, hardworking, forward, focused. The second position is what are your strengths? I got the Loam, which is number 30. I put positive outlook, reflective or deep readings, issues big and small, unconditional giving and unconditional receiving. Position 3, what are your limitations? I got number 64, gotcha, which I saw as hiding from the truth, being stuck, and stagnant. Position 4 was what can I learn from you? Number 27, Nellis the Alchemist. Inner transformation, irrevocable change, confidence, magic. Position 5, what is the best way to connect with you? The Singer of Connection. That's pretty direct. Spiritual connection, karma, balance, empathy, unifying and reunifying with the song, and my mind, body, and spirit. Position 6, would you work well with other decks? Which ones? And 59, the Bodacious Bodoc, a meddler. As long as I don't leave loose ends, they intend to do well, but you never know. Position 7. In what situations should I use you? Himself, which is number 17, to strengthen, protection, to energize and empower, maybe shamanic and healing powers. Lastly, position 8, the outcome of our relationship, ecstasis. Number 2, working through the darkest times and emotions and push to learn, and to live, and allowing the song to move through us. So a pretty positive outcome overall, I feel. As I said, I've had this deck for a while. It's an old friend, and I didn't feel the need to do daily readings, though I did some. I know this deck. I don't bear it much, so I want to do readings that were focused on that area. But I'll get to that later. The big thing for me was the individual card study. First, I had to look at each Fae grouping, or what I call in the Facebook group the suits from the guidebook, and I put them all together and gave my initial, before my one-on-one card study, thoughts. First are the singers. Singers of the realm. There are 13 of them. The shock for everyone seeing these is always interesting. They're non-corporeal beings of light, sound, and energy. Abstract, universal energies. The light in the darkness, like a big bang. It points to lights like the stars, caught up in a moment of movement. I don't anthropomorphize these as much, I'd say. And they're a connection with deity or higher power or universal energy. Good Fairies, Bad Fairies says angels are the thought forms of God. Angels could be grown up fairies, or fairies are little angels. Angels are not really my thing. I don't have an angel deck. So looking back now, I see the progression from the 1 in Unity, the song that fills it going through the gateway, splitting into 2, then the slow coalescing towards the physical manifestation. It's like the song went through a prism and broke into separate parts, but each is also reaching to manifest their own part. Here is what is and always will be. And I mentioned the song, and you can watch my video about my first impressions, because that's something from the guidebook itself. Before I go on into detail per card, I just want to point out that with studying this deck, I decided to cover the titles of the cards with some washi tape, which peels right off, doesn't harm the paper at all. I did this because one of the issues, or one of the things I wanted to address when using this deck, is that the names of the Fae on the cards don't always speak to what they are or what the image is trying to convey, because it's not something familiar to me, or it's just something from Brian Froud's brain. So I wanted to divorce the images and text from each other. Now, to study each card in the guidebook, there are 6 to 7 questions for the power cards activity, but you can use this, like I did, for studying each of the other cards. And that's what I did here, and that's what I did for everyone in the Facebook group. I just posted these questions so they can answer them for each card, and it's a sensory activity almost. The first card is the 0 card, the Fairy Guide. It is a blank card, which is off-putting. With this one, you're supposed to create your own fairy guide and maybe draw on it. However, I have made my own fairy guide. I've never drawn on the card, but I answered the questions with my guide. So it's specific to her. He's confident and kind of amused and exasperated. Physically, very much a guide-like, somewhat wild and childlike manner. Just listening kind of to your inner child mentally in a way, but also instinctual. Taking you places is the feel of this deck, and it's not a static picture in my head, which is good, bad, and everything in between. If for no other reason, I'm glad to have done this deck study to solidify this one card's meaning to me. This Fae is special to me, and I realized that they use they them pronouns. The next card is the first of the singers, Unity. And emotionally, I saw this as obviously coming together, the name influence there. Physical and spiritual, fire and water. Uh, Physically, like balance, knowing yourself, I guess, mentally, connecting with a higher power spiritually. And my favorite part is the horns, but I really don't like that darkness and that unknownness in the background. That wholeness and union with the song, with the universe, is what the guidebook implies. And for ecstasis, the energy I get is that it's growing, it's content and fulfilled, but still wanting to stretch beyond its boundaries, exploring positively. You also see those chakras points there, right? The wings and that crescent moon at the top, but it also looks a little buggish. And the guidebook mentions things like the song that fills unity. So this is the next step. Next is the Guardian of the Gate, and it looks like a maypole to me. That crown of lights at the top, and it looks kind of like a wreath, but there's nothing, you don't know what's on the other side. Like, it has an expectant, celebratory, waiting feel. Stepping into a new phase of life or a situation, maybe a milestone like a wedding. It makes me think of like a wedding for some reason. But like also mentally, clarity is the word that comes to mind. But spiritually, again, that veil, stepping through the veil, passage is the word used from the guidebook. All right, we've got He of the Fiery Sword, and keeping it real, it's hard to find emotional meaning in the singers, especially from here on out. Definitely feeling like an action card, doing something, and clarity, cutting through confusion, that kind of idea. Transformative, I guess. There's a feel of the butterfly in the way the light bends here. She of the Kruak is supposed to be like the feminine energy to match the masculine of the previous card, but I feel like this being one of the first of many deer heads, it matches better with the Unity card, which had the antlers, image-wise anyway. Comforting, slow, emotional feel, speaking your truth. And the points of light kind of line up to give a balanced feel to both sides, taking things in and centering and journeying, I feel. Next, a singer of connection. It seems like this is a coming together, a clashing of two sides. There seems to be a crown over them. It could be on a staff, too. A fight, exciting brashness, a slap or a clap, startlement, or an epiphany, change, ascension, or a realization. There's an elevator feel somehow to this as well. This is a singer of intuition, the first warm tone singer, so I automatically like it more. It's giving moth or hawk from seen from below, and sharp focus mentally, going in for a kill, or sharp and focused. Again, ascension, heart and soul's desire. A singer of courage, yet another deer looking abstract amongst the singers. But it seems like it has a human figure behind the head, an aura maybe. Again, a calm, emotional energy, a protective, staring fear in the face energy. The title doesn't work for me, and this is where I started putting the washi tapes on, because this just had me lost intuitively. Okay, this the singer of initiation. This one seems hopeful, maybe even proud, like holding up something in victory, accomplishment, full to bursting, feeling that just learning and changing, that accomplishment again. Looking at it, this is the most complex looking singer so far, but still in an abstract way, maybe hands in a bowl or a chalice. And there's a lot of light in the background, which I like, unlike the others. Okay, not getting any kind of feelings or emotions from the singer of healing. But kind of a getting dressed or prepared, decorating maybe physically, or putting things together mentally, trying to understand like puzzle pieces, learning, developing. There's lines of energy and power that seems like movement. I did not get healing from this, except what I said just there. There's that coalescing of energy happening, and it reminds me of Voldemort when he was putting his cape on. Speaking of, here is the singer of transfiguration. Not much feeling as usual, but physical manifestation, maybe a butterfly effect, renewal, that also growing ideas or creative thinking. And then spiritually, that phoenix rising from the ashes and cleansing fire. Red is my favorite color, so I love this card. Some warm tones here, finally. And the butterfly shape does it for me on this one. The singer of the chalice actually feels happy to me. Go figure. And also kind of like a hug, confidence maybe, or a smile. Clarity and understanding it's giving. And love the yellows so very much. The solar plexus chakra, self-worth, self-confidence, grounding. I have to say that a lot of these I've pulled, but seeing those lights at what I feel like are chakra points, like this guy. Now, Solace being one of my power cards, the most appealing this go round, sense warmth and strength and power. That heart chakra, you see that light down there. Living passionately, giving guidance and leadership, Aries energy, that confidence, good mental health, awareness, solar male deity is giving here. Just that light on the heart chakra. I will add a little more since this is my most appealing card. It says what I'm trying to create in my life is, it seems right, a warm, confident, heart-centered personhood or place. And you see how this is more like a person, a figure here? That song energy finally coalescing again into something more solid and living, coming down from this unearthly energy to what will be the fully formed Fae now. So that's all for part 1 of my Faeries Oracle deck study. What do you think about this one? Since I've done all those other videos, like I said earlier, this one we get a little further into the studying steps. Next time I will talk about studying the She and the Fairy Guides and Guardians, and a couple more activities and maybe some daily draws. I did do a few, not a lot, but a few. Leave me a little fairy emoji if you've gotten this far in the video. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. And links in the description to everything I talked about, including my playlist, and 10% off discount code to my Etsy shop, where I do give tarot and oracle reading, some with the Faeries Oracle if you request it, as well as make all natural bath and body products for witchy and mundane purposes. You can also find my other social media links there as well. But that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.